This is the Business of Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
I'm super excited about our guest today. I'm a fan of basketball, obviously. I'm a fan of sports, but I'm a bigger fan of marketing and even bigger fan of unique and interesting stories. And that's Melissa Proctor. She is the Executive Vice President CMO of the Atlanta Hawks. How cool is that? And the author of the new book, From Ball Girl to CMO. You talk about having a long-term vision of understanding that next generation. Some brands, in the NBA outside of just think of a corporate brand too, there's not always that patience. It's all about fast acquisition and
absolutely.
You also have to have, one is you have to have a good team around you that allows you to have that long-term vision. And then next is you've got to be patient to have it. And there's kind of that simultaneous, how do we get people now in conversions, but how do we build that next level? That's the kind of people I want in my organization, or the kind that understand, here's what the next generation looks like. That long-term planning is amazing. How do you have permission to have time to have that kind of vision and to implement it?
Well, we really looked at it much broader than that. It was a generational fan building strategy, because while that may be your target, from a brand perspective, you can have a core at your brand target. And so knowing that we're building the brand for next generation Atlantans, the uniforms we designed, that acts that we would bring into the arena to attract single game tickets buyers, that was all based on that. However, don't get it twisted. There's other audiences as well. B2B is a hugely important subset for our business. Being in the heart of downtown Atlanta, knowing their businesses all around us, we actually transformed our arena to be more compelling as a product for businesses to want to come in and entertain clients, or use it, for HR teams as perks for employees. That was a very intentional target as well, but reached at a very different way. That was a physical space. There are more, at the time, more all-inclusive areas where people can come in with a ticket, but food would be provided, parking would be provided. It was a different way of looking at that experience. Definitely an important target, and a lot for the business space as well. But understanding what that was, and as a part of that corporate partnership as well, kind of layered on top of that, which adds another element, because you want to be connected with partners who are aligned with your audience. So if we know we're getting the youth and all of the next generation of Atlantans to our games, brands that are interested in connecting with those audiences would also want to come along and be a part of that. And the one thing that I can control as a CMO are wins and losses. Unfortunately, I'd make no decisions of who's on the court. If I could, man, I tell you, there'd be a lot of Trays in the world, Trae Young, but
I bet you get some good seats though, don't you?
Yeah, we do. But it's really important for us to look at, there's so many stories and important opportunities to talk to different communities within Atlanta. And at the core, we have an ownership team that really believes we are a civic asset before we're anything else. So the example of State Farm Marine being the first team with all the teams in the NBA to open up our building for early voting with this election, I was a greeter just yesterday at the arena, greeting people and welcoming them into the building during our early voting period. Every single team member has been trained in poll working and handing out stickers and all of these things. And so that's really important. So I always look at it from a holistic perspective. But, we have a lot of different stakeholders and constituents, and we can be a brand that can reach all of them in ways that are important to them.
Derek Champagne here. Join me on Instagram. It's Mr. Derek Champagne. If you want to see videos from our guests, book giveaways, and more, that's Mr. Derek Champagne.